Hi everyone, Lisa Lee here. Yes. Are you serious? Okay, I'll try that again. Since someone thinks she's hilarious right now.
It's my bug cleans.
It's your what?
Bugs.
Your bug? You have a bug cleaner? A bug vacuum?
A bug, you can zap it up with this.
You have a bug vacuum?
Yeah, for bugs.
For bugs. Okay. As I was saying, hi everyone. This is Lisa Lee. Along with my bug vacuum cleaning cousin.
Let me get my sippy.
Who drinks a sippy? So say hi, Kendra.
Hi, Kendra.
I want to thank everybody for helping us get to our goal of 500 subscribers. We are well over that now.
I didn't even get to say hi yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello. Say hello.
This is Kendra Lee speaking. Stop interrupting.
Excuse me. I can't help it. It's that Italian thing, I guess.
Okay, whatever. Continue with yourself.
Oh, okay. As I was saying, I was thanking everybody for subscribing to us, and I hope that we will provide some fun, entertaining content, and maybe some educational with the crystals and stuff, and maybe more.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. So, and what's cool about reaching 500 is the fact that we are able to create a community now where we can post stories and pictures of maybe new products and things that we're interested in and stuff too. And we can talk to you, doing that too without a video. Right? So
sure.
Yeah. So that's fun, right? Our next goal is to get to 1,000. What happens when we go to 1,000? We get to go live on YouTube. So that should be even more fun. We're going to talk today about some news, right? What's going on with the news? We haven't done news in since what, Thanksgiving?
Well, yeah. So a lot of famous people have passed on.
Oh, I know. Betty White.
Yep.
That was very
Agate.
Yeah. Yep. Sidney Poitier.
Right.
Yeah.
It was one of those times every time I turn on the news, there was another one who had passed away. A lot of people, they were, up there in age, at least. It's,
Not Bob, though.
No, he was young. But hopefully they are.
Why is it? Because I know a lot of people wonder, why is it that when you hear about deaths, they always happen in threes?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they do seem to happen in threes. And especially celebrity deaths. We always used to say that.
It's always in threes.
We'd be like, 2 down, 1 more to go. Who's it going to be?
Yeah.
And then you're always somehow shocked when you hear it, even though you were just saying it and joking around about it. You're like, oh, no. But yeah, they go in threes. Although I do have to say, when Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett died on the same day.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Who was the third in that trilogy? Because I missed that one completely.
I don't even remember.
Between those two.
Yeah.
So
that was shocking.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the third person was then. If anybody knows who the third person is, write it down in the comments and let us know. But yeah, I don't remember that. I just remember it was real shocking.
They have more work to do on the other side, I guess.
Yeah.
And they have to do it in threes for some reason.
That is strange. Did you see that TikTok video where there was this big wrestler dude, and he's got a bunch.
Oh yeah, and they're doing the countdown.
They were doing the countdown of who's coming next, kind of like the Raw and SmackDown draft. Who's coming, and I thought that was so amazing. I'm like, that's sad, but it's funny. That is great.
Right, because it's everybody on the other side gets notified. Somebody's coming in, so they gather around and who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? And they're hoping for a good one. Well, we're all on the other side going, oh, we lost a good one. But then they scream in delight when they see it's Betty White.
It was Betty White, and the crowd just went nuts. Yes! I thought that was amazing.
That was a good one. That was
definitely a good TikTok.
Who's it going to be? No way. You gotta be kidding me.
everybody seems to have felt really bad about her passing because she was so beloved. But at the same time, you know, you can't ask for too much more than the amount of years she got there. And they were healthy
she lived a long life, you know?
Yeah.
And people forget that, you know, they're like, so sad that she died before her 100th birthday. But they forget that when you turn 99, you have completed 99 years of living. So this entire year, you're living your 100th year. So she lived her 100th year, except for that last 2 or 3 weeks.
Plus, sometimes I think that it means more to those of us who are a lot younger than that number than the people who are in that age range, because they're like, what does it matter? It doesn't matter. Like, you know, like they see a different point of the years and of life and whatnot than we do. And we put a lot more stigma on the number. You know, she went out pretty smart, actually, on New Year's Eve. So nobody missed it. Everybody could give a toast to her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, you can't blame me for any of 2022.
Right. She went out with a bang.
So in other news,
it's always the Kardashians, man.
Speaking of TikTok, did you see the TikToks involving the Kardashians, but not?
Oh, it is about the Kardashians. I'm like, okay, we'll leave the Kardashians for later. But
it's about them, but not made by them. Mr. Kanye made a couple of videos over the weekend.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. That was the Kardashians
live while they were being produced.
Yeah.
Going, wow, this is impressive. We are having the fight out in public on social media, no less. Wow.
Are you talking about the one where he was fighting him standing by the car? Or the one where he was talking about
trying to go to the birthday party of Chicago and he was being blocked by Kim for going to the party?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, there's about 4 of them.
I saw him talking about it. I didn't see, and I saw him fighting, but that's Kim?
Okay, so the fighting thing is a different thing.
Okay,
so in there's a couple of them, and he's in a car and he's chatting because it's Chicago's birthday and there's a party being held somewhere and he doesn't know where and he's supposed to be there, and he's going on and on about he's the dad and he has the right to be there and this is bullshit and he's going to control the narrative, and he's going on and how he contacted Kim and he contacted the nannies and he contacted Chris and he had to contact Tristan finally, and everybody's like, well, why would he be helpful?
Well, that just let out the info that Tristan's still around. Hello, after this last
right, he didn't seem to give a shit. And so then Chloe got involved, and so you're like, okay,
but then he called Travis. Then he called Travis.
Well, then he apparently contacted Travis, who just, of course, Travis, he just said it all and then no regard.
He showed up.
And then security stopped him when he showed up, but Kylie came out and let him in.
You know, I have to say, when it comes to like Kylie, she's like, all right, when the stuff went down with Tristan and Jordan Woods, okay, when Tristan cheated on Chloe with Kylie's bestie, Jordan Wood, Kylie, obviously it affected Kylie very much because she basically lost her best friend. But during the whole thing, like when they were kind of talking badly about Jordan and stuff, Kylie was like, look, she understood the situation completely. And I think was very mature about it, handled it very well, even though she's the one who really, really lost. Tristan was still with Chloe. So Chloe still had Tristan after that. She's the one who lost her friend. Now, whether the friend was wrong or whatever, she's the one who really lost completely out there, And I'm not saying this to be mean or anything, but I just want to say how she handled that situation very responsibly, more so than any of these, and she's the youngest one out of all of them. And now with this, she's not going to block the father of the child. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's more mature.
I guess we don't know why he didn't get notified properly about the party goings-ons. We don't know any of the reasons, and it may have been because of his behaviors the previous day that we saw on film where he was punching something.
Right.
So that could mean he's maybe in an unsafe pattern. I mean, we don't know all of
allegedly
stuff.
Kim has said that she thought Kanye was doing his own thing for her birthday.
Right, which in the state of California, when you get divorced, it's really common, and they push for there to be, which I think is stupid, 2 birthday parties for the child, one that the dad throws, one that the mom throws, and then each family and friends can go to whatever side.
Right.
Now, when you're a celebrity and you have giant families and a huge fan base and whatever, I'm sure that works out great. But when you're regular people, the kids don't have that many friends. So there's issues there for that. But so
everybody was saying Pete Davidson was there.
As parents, they can like figure that out. But yeah, I mean, I kind of felt bad because I'm sure there was a reason, and I'm sure he was also blowing it out of proportion.
Well, people were trying to say that it was because Pete Davidson was there. I don't think Pete was there because I think that would be completely wrong of Kim to do, honestly. The first birthday or first event that has to do with the child. I mean, maybe there was others, but that we only know about the Chicago's, right? Right. But for her to invite him to her party and not Kanye, I don't know. Maybe if she did think that Kanye was doing his own thing, maybe she didn't think there was a problem with it. But he came anyway. So I don't know if Pete was there or not. It's none of my business. None of this is any of our business, but
right. What bothered me about it was everybody's, which I believe this part to be true, everybody went silent to him and his reaching out, phone calling, texting, what have you.
Right.
And just that blocking to a person psychologically is really messed up. And so at least to have the conversation, I mean, I would, because I'd be like, hey, I'm not supposed to say, this is why I'm not supposed to say, so you got to take it up with whomever is making me say this, because, that just seems more fair in my opinion. But
he shouldn't have been blocked out like that.
It worked out. He got to go. He enjoyed himself. Nothing bad happened, and everybody seems to be okay. So it worked out, and that's great. And hopefully now they'll, moving forward, be more organized about their parties and who's coming and going. But did you hear that he bought the house across the street from her?
He did?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, so
wow.
That's, a little bit talk about playing games, but whatever.
Did you also hear that he wrote a song about Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson, yeah, he did. He did do that, about I hate him or I'm going to punch him or something. Yeah. And
his daughter, I don't know if it was North or Chicago, one of them liked the song. And I'm like, you know what? That's just not right.
No, it's not.
Because you got to think Kim and him probably aren't even, I mean, I'm sure the kids know who he is because they have said he's been at the house. So,
right. And
serious.
You got to also complaining about you're not getting invited to a party when you just announced you're making a song called I'm going to punch this dude in the face that my ex-wife is dating. Why do you think you're invited to the party?
Yeah. I mean they don't want no drama. But then again, do they want drama?
Right. Yeah. I mean, so it doesn't sound like there was any. It sounded like it went off okay, but hopefully they'll be better prepared moving forward.
Mm-hmm. So Kylie's obviously getting ready to give birth at any time. Now, people were thinking that she did, but according to some images at this party, she was still pregnant. So she should be due shortly. I'm not sure when her due date is or anything like that. But and then Tristan apparently is there. Now it's not.
He's still around.
Yeah,
it knows why.
It's not there. I don't know why. I mean, again,
he won't be for long.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can understand wanting to be with the father of your child. I can understand wanting to make it work, but this guy is like a serial.
It's so clear it's not going to. It's like enough already.
Yeah, and she is. I mean, I know she wants to have another baby too. That is, a full-blooded sibling. But come on, Chloe. I hate
she just deserves better.
Absolutely, she does. She's a great person. She really is. I like Chloe the best out of all of them, but I just can't handle the I can see once and forgiving him. The second time,
this is like the 15th time, though. I mean,
yeah, and the second he goes on the road,
right? So,
Yeah, and you know damn well that when it was his birthday, which is supposedly when he hung out with this chick, okay, or one of the times that they met, hung out, he had her come over or whatever. It was on his birthday. You know damn well that he was talking to Chloe that day, and she's like, "It's Tristan's birthday, but he can't be with him. He's on the road, whatever it is." You know what I mean? And so, like, and meanwhile, he's partying. He's having a great old time.
Right.
You know? Was she his gift? I mean, what was it? You know? But he's a serial cheater, and it's like, come on, Chloe. You know, I hate to use that phrase, "wake up," but wake up.
The Spears family.
Oh
Brittany.
Girl, we are so in sync. Because look, if I can show you this, since we last spoke on our little tea time here, Brittany's conservatorship has ended.
Right.
And she is free.
Much better and all the happier, just choosing whatever words she wants to say and clothes she wants to wear. And
yep. She had her IUD removed. Can you believe they did that to her?
Well, yeah, but they were being insane. So yes, but
I mean,
it's not
crazy.
So she's taking a vacation or two, and
yeah,
she's doing well, but I guess she's having family squabbles now.
Yeah, with her sister, Jamie Lynn.
Right. Jamie, I guess, has done a book about her own life. So Brittany's in it, of course, to an extent.
Right.
And I guess Brittany is a big fan of the book that is the autobiography according to Jamie Lynn.
Odd timing, don't you think?
Yeah.
I would think that Brittany would have a book coming out first.
You know, in her defense, maybe Jamie Lynn was doing it, and then all of this came down, and so it was then either pushed faster, hurry, get it done, or held back for this whole conservatorship to work out. I can see either one of those things happening too.
Did you see her interview? Was it on the Today Show, I think?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was on, but I did see it.
Yeah, I believe it was on the Today Show. Yeah, I think not only was Brittany under some kind of spell from the father, I think Jamie Lynn was too.
Oh, yeah. No, I think they both were mistreated, abused in some extent, money stolen, laundered, and just general BS they should never have had to go through with, their whole celebrity lifestyle, whole performance career.
When Brittany was first put into the conservatorship, Jamie Lynn was 17 years old and pregnant. So, think back to when you were 17, not pregnant, but just think back to you were 17. We kind of talked about this earlier with my niece and your cousin. Just think about mindset at 17 years old. Plus, she was having a baby. So, was she focused on everything her dad was doing with her older sister? Imagine Lauren being like that with me.
Brittany's mad because Jamie Lynn was saying how hard her life was and the shit she went through was brutal and horrible and whatever. And Brittany's like, really, bitch?
Right.
You didn't even have half as bad as me.
Right.
Which I understand that feeling for Brittany as well. So where you're like, really? Your life is all.
Well, you have to think about it. They kind of live two different lives, but under the same totalitarian father,
right. And
Brittany's loaded.
One was more famous than the other, so she got probably more mistreated than the other, but it is still real to her sister.
Absolutely.
What happened? And I think that's where the sister's a little bit upset at you're invalidating me and what really did happen here.
Right.
But then there were some parts that Brittany flat out said you're making up. So
right.
Yeah, but
you don't know what went back to Brittany from the father or whoever about Jamie, and vice versa. You don't know what the father was telling Jamie Lynn about Brittany the whole time. Brittany doesn't know. Brittany doesn't know half the shit that guy did.
Right.
All the people that he must have had involved throughout the years to keep her in this cornered space and trap her.
It's so bizarre, dude. It's just so weird.
Because he wanted control of her. He's a control freak and wanted her money.
Well, yeah.
And she had to keep making money in order to keep buying the things and keeping that lavish lifestyle, and who knows what else he bought and whatever. I'd love to see the stuff that he has his name on, or businesses that, you know, he may have or own that has his name involved, and then the businesses may own that kind of stuff. I mean, I already know he had to give up one property.
So for now, she's annoyed with her sister. She doesn't speak to her father. So does she speak to her mother?
I don't know, but I do know her mother had said she wanted the conservatorship to end.
Yeah.
You know, her boys are all grown up now. It's really crazy how that was allowed to happen, and just makes you wonder how many people has this happened to. Whether it be a family, you know, not necessarily a conservatorship, but like someone that's been in charge of your, like, managers, you know, just agents. They have personal assistants, you know, accountants do it to regular people that aren't celebrities, you know. They act like they're taking care of your situation, your funds, whatever, and next thing you know, all your money's gone because they stole it, you know. I mean, it's just crazy how much. So I just wonder, like, what other celebrities face the same kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure there've been a few.
And how did the Free Britney movement even start? You know, how did they know what was going on?
Oh, because I think it was more when she got locked up initially.
Oh, so you're going back a long time ago.
Yeah, that's when it started, and it was over that. And then from there, it just kind of grew when it never seemed to go away, because it didn't.
I saw a clip on E! News, and Dr. Drew was on, and they were talking about Britney, and he said she does have a mental issue. You know?
Yeah, she said it as well.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that she can't control her life. You know what I mean? And so at the time, and when he was talking, they were showing how she kind of went spiraling out of control, and they were just showing like the paparazzi, the this, the that, and it's like, hang on a second, you know what? If you were in that position and you had all these people coming at you all the time, you had no privacy whatsoever, everybody's made you to be this Barbie doll, and you have to do this whole entire time. And she probably just said, you know what? I'm cutting my hair off. I'm not going to be your Barbie doll anymore. And that's why she cut her whole hair. I guarantee that's probably behind what made her do it. You know what I mean? And then they just looked at her like she was losing her mind. And meanwhile, I don't know what she has. I don't know if she's bipolar. I don't know what her mental condition is. But for them to have taken such strong, I understand you're the father, you want to take care of your child. That's fine. That's probably how he got it in the first place. You know what I mean? But I mean, imagine what they were doing to her before she had enough and reacted like that.
Right.
They were probably already doing it, and she snapped. And then it made it worse, because then they actually got legal control. And then that was it.
Which is what...
Yeah.
Sometimes that's an executed plan to get what you want, to make the person go crazy. That's gaslighting and narcissist in its extreme ways, and unfortunately reality for a lot of regular people that aren't rich and famous.
It's like, you know, people just need to keep to themselves and mind their own P's and Q's. What is National Day today?
Right.
I didn't know. What is it?
You don't, well, don't you know?
Do you know what day it is today? It is National Winnie the Pooh Day.
Well, there you go, folks.
So what else has there been going on? Oh, you know what? Aside from the whole political thing and, you know, the health stuff that's going on that we're not going to talk about, there's been some strange weather happening. It is cold in Florida. I am freezing. Burr.
It has been cold across the whole United States, I believe.
Yeah.
The Midwest has had some kind of crazy snow and freeze, and it's going up the Northeast now, I hear.
Yeah, what I said to Gabe the other day, I'm like, it's going upwards. Isn't that kind of strange? Usually it comes down.
Well, and then
When
we
it's
heard
snowing,
about
it's coming this way.
tornadoes in Florida.
Yeah, Fort Myers had a what was it, an F2 tornado? But like out of nowhere, like it just coming and hitting, Fort Myers. Like what is that all? And then, oh hello California, we have a volcano bursting into the Pacific Ocean.
Well, yeah, and then I'm like, wait, I woke up to, water. I'm hearing about all kinds of impending doom. And I'm like half awake going, what is happening? What are they talking about? Did they say California, the whole West Coast? Like this, what movie? Literally, I said, what movie is on the TV?
I mean, you got 2012 on or something? What's going on?
Yeah, I was going, what do you mean we're all under tsunami warning?
Right.
The whole West Coast, just the whole West Coast, just the whole shebang. Okay, then. It just seems so unrealistic. And then it indeed was, and it indeed did get kind of bad, actually, in a few places. It hit along differently where the waves came. But Northern California, there was a couple of really bad places, unfortunately, places we go to.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, right around near us. And so that was sort of sad. And it did affect even closer inland. Some rivers started overflowing. Didn't make maybe the national news, but our local news sure had it. And so then it started to be a little bit like, okay, what this has never happened before. I have lived here for plenty of decades.
Right.
We've never had severe, real tsunami warnings where things actually ended up happening, where people have lost their homes and their cars from this event. Their boats, their cars, their houses. There's been a lot of flooding. It's been a little bit sad in some areas, but not nearly as bad as, I guess, the island of Tonga, which has been essentially wiped out. I'm not sure. I've never heard of an underwater volcano until the year 2020, and now apparently we've had three.
Three now.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
I saw some videos of people, like when they heard about it, they went right to the beach. And there was one video where this girl's out there and she's like showing, she's like, look. And I'm like, that's coming in pretty close. These things just keep popping up and you got to go and search them. And it's like these long running stories. And yet here it is out of nowhere. You got this volcano popping up in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, I never heard of it out there, but how many more are there going to be? I don't know.
Well, what's interesting about it is that happened literally a day or two after I saw a girl saying she lived in Alaska, and that one day they said that they had 10 earthquakes, all like 6 point something.
Oh yeah, out in the water in Northern California, right under the Alaskan islands there, they have a massive amount of them in clusters. And They're always big. And so nobody really feels them too much as far as big of a number magnitude that they are, because they're in the water. But they're known to happen, I want to say seasonally, but that's not the proper lingo.
Well, there's earthquakes every day. They're just not.
Right, but there's certain areas that are known to cluster at certain times, the different faults around here. And you sort of just get used to hearing about which ones do what. And honestly, what they're waiting for at this point, well, first of all, there's the Cascades, and everybody in their theory on the Cascades is fine. Everybody can have their opinion.
Right.
But the Cascades will split and go, and it'll be a earth-changing event, or it'll just be a massive earthquake, one or the other.
Right.
But there's nothing anybody can do about that. That one's just huge. And then there's the California San Andreas Fault that everybody wants to talk about.
Right.
And that one is due for an earthquake, as is the Hayward Fault, which is all the way up in Northern California, which is where I live, is also overdue for a tumble. And there's about 3 offshoots to those that are all ready and past their expiration to go off. So if you hear about an earthquake in California, learn the fault lines and see if it's one of the ones that was expected to go off. But then will the Californians be prepared? Probably not.
It's funny. I lived there 3 different times in my life, and I've been there every year since, except for the past 10 years. And I have never been in California, or let's just say in a city that had an actual earthquake while I was standing there that I know of. Like the ones that I didn't feel are one thing. But remember when I came up to your house for Thanksgiving that one time? When we got back, I had a big lion picture that was in my living room, and it was on the floor. And they said that there was an earthquake there. I'm like, get out of here. So I left, an earthquake happens, I come back, nothing, right? So the only other time that I know of, because this I witnessed, and it was the first time, well, I didn't witness the actual quake, I witnessed the aftershocks, was the Northridge earthquake. Because we went out there, it was in January, and we had gone out there for NAMM, and I flew in the day after the earthquake. So I'm at the rental car place, and I'm standing there, and I'm leaning against the countertop, with my arm kind of on the countertop, just waiting, and all of a sudden the freaking thing moved, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, did I do that? I thought I moved the counter, right? And he goes, no, that's just an aftershock. And I'm like, aftershock? I'm like, are you kidding, really? So I stood straight up, and then all of a sudden my feet felt like they were rolling. I felt like I was on a skateboard. I'm like, whoa! I'm like, oh my God, I just lost complete balance. I'm like, what? He goes, that's an aftershock. I'm like, that's an aftershock? I'm expecting to start shaking up and down, not rolling.
Well, yeah, it depends on what time they are. They either roll or they shake.
Yeah.
I don't know which I prefer. We've had a lot around here lately, and unfortunately, where I live right now, I'm literally on 3 faults that are all expected to go off, and we all really rock and roll around here, and they're small ones, and it keeps shocking me how much we are shaking and moving. And I'm like, that's all it was? And I'm always home alone, so I have nobody else to witness this. But
I think I would rather have a little shaking, because that roll was I literally was standing, there was nothing around me now, and I tried to grab the air. I tried to hold on to the air. There was nothing to hold on to. And I'm like, whoa, total teeter-tottering on my feet, and I'm on solid ground. And I'm thinking, that's really weird when you're standing on solid ground, Kendra, and it starts moving underneath you. Where else do you go from that? I'm sorry. That's a very strange feeling.
Yeah, I mean, we, as Californians, we sit here and it needs to really move for us to get up off the couch or the bed or the chair. We kind of look around the room, look at each other. Is that earthquake? And we start throwing out numbers. Yeah, hold on. Let's see. We wait, is it going to get worse? Do we have to move? Or is it already going to be over by the time we stand up? And if you have anybody that's not from California or used to earthquakes, they are already freaking out.
I'll leave me out there, because, when I come, nothing happens. Every shock's fine, whatever. But the main earthquakes, they don't happen when I'm there. And now, we had an earthquake in New York.
One just recently, and I didn't care for it.
You didn't care for it?
I was throwing something away in the garbage in my garage, and the garbage truck happened to be there at the same time, and they were slamming down the trash cans and making all this noise, and literally is right outside my garage door. So it was just loud, and there was rumbling, and it'll vibrate a little bit. So I felt that, and I'm walking to go back into my house, and I'm like, why in the heck is everything vibrating so much? Right. And I'm looking up at my shelves of my cooler and all the stuff I have way up there, and it's vibrating like crazy. And I'm like, oh, no, this isn't that. And I hurried inside the house, and I started booking it the more it started to really shake. And then once I got inside, I grabbed my chandelier, because those make me nervous when they swing wildly.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me you were getting ready to to hold on to your chandelier, and I'm thinking she's grabbing your chandelier. Why would you grab a chandelier to hold on to?
No. I was grabbing it to stop it as much as possible. And then I was running upstairs because I didn't have my phone on me. My phone was upstairs. And I'm like, this may be because it was so violently shaking.
You messaged me. And
this may be the last opportunity before we're cut out of phone. And I'm still running up the stairs and it's still going. And it was like stuff was falling down. I'm going, oh shit, I just got to get to my phone, hurry and get the text out.
Right.
Before we lose ability to do this.
Yeah. And you're like, we just had an earthquake. I'm like, you what?
Yeah. And then it's like, and then I'm like, okay, now that I'm up here and I'm all out of breath and I'm like, it finally stops. And then boom, boom, there was another one. It turns out that right over in the corner, not even a block from my house, was the epicenter. That's why I was shaking so badly. I'm like, this is why I'm like, yeah, I didn't care for that one. And it was only like a 3 or something. I was like, oh
man.
But I mean, I'm semi-prepared. I'm not all the way out there prepared like they want you to be, but
semi-prepared. Kendra, you have lists for everything.
Oh, you should see what they require though for you to have. Like, I'm sorry, but my feeling is if we're in that dire straits and this is literally what I'm going to need to survive, the house has fallen upon me. How am I to access these things? Like, you know, like there's the catastrophe is so massive at this point for some of what they say we should have. I'm like, no, we'll just deal. But I have the water because you need water to survive. So I have that for 4 people. And I've got bandages and the Band-Aids and the ointments and all of that. Camping lanterns, like, oh my God, we have lights galore here. So we got tons of that. And we've got a lot of chips.
Potato chips?
Yeah. That's what we're going to live off of.
Well, hopefully that'll never happen.
Yeah, that's the goal, but nothing we can do either way about it, unfortunately. Just be prepared.
Best to be prepared.
And for all of the natural disasters that we have, since we are having this strange weather, so for the blizzards and the hurricanes and the freezes and the tornadoes and the fires and the tsunamis and the earthquakes, since we apparently now have all of these things in America, just be aware of that for your friends and family and see if they're prepared. Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting weather. I hope everybody stays warm, stays healthy. And I think that's it for today, Kendra.
I think so.
Until next time, thank you again for reaching our goals of 500. We are now at 654 that I can see. And our next goal is to reach 1,000. So we are on the road to 1,000. Thank you so much, everybody. And I especially want to thank Get Swamped, Taking a Risk, and What the Hells for all their help and just even mentioning our channel. I love those guys and they're all great people. And thank you all so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Say goodbye, Kendra.
Goodbye, Kendra.
Bye.